Okay, so this problem is to help you with number 7 on CR number 1. It says explain without calculating whether the following 2 problems result in the same answer. Give reasons for your answer. So the first problem says 8 plus 9 divided by 3 times 5 minus 2. And the next one says 8 plus 9 divided by 3 times the quantity 5 minus 2. So the whole point of this problem is to see whether or not you understand your order of operations. So let's review our order of operations. So for your order of operations, always you work within grouping symbols or parentheses first. So the first thing you do is parentheses or grouping symbols. The second thing, once you handle all parentheses or grouping symbols and you simplify and get a single answer within, you then move on to exponents. And you evaluate your exponents. In this problem, there are no exponents. The third step is you multiply or divide left to right. It's important for you to realize this is where some students go astray. Some students think they have to multiply before they divide. That is not true. You multiply or divide moving left to right. So in this problem, see how you hit the division before the multiplication? You have to divide 9 by 3 here before you ever multiply by 5. You multiply and divide left to right. If you hit division first, you do division first, and then the multiplication. And finally, in our last step, it's addition or subtraction, again, left to right. So if you hit subtraction before addition, you have to do that first. Got to move left to right with addition or subtraction. Okay. So as I look at these two problems, I can already see, based on the order of operations, these will not come out to be the same answer, or they don't have to come out to be the same answer, because do you see how we have this grouping symbol here, this set of parentheses around the 5 minus 2? That means you would have to complete this part first, where in the other problem, that step actually would come last. So because of the grouping symbols, in problem 2, your first step would be to subtract 2 from 5, would be to subtract the 5 minus 2, okay? And in the first problem, that 5 minus 2 comes in the last step. So we do them in a different order. So it says, explain without calculating whether the following 2 problems result in the same answer. Give reasons for your answer. Okay. All right. No, they will not. So I should have started. No, problems 1 and 2 won't result in the same answer. Because of the grouping symbols in problem 2. Your first step in problem 2, would be to subtract 2 from 5. Yep. But in problem 1, you don't do that till your very last step. But in problem 1, (5 minus 2) will be the very last step in that problem. So because, let me go back. So because of the order of operations, these won't end up being the same answer based on the order of operations that you have to follow when you're solving We're simplifying mathematical expressions. Sorry about that. I keep jumping slides. So no, these won't result in the same answer. In problem 2, you're going to subtract 2 from 5 first. But in problem 1, you subtract 2 from 5 in the very last step because of your order of operations. I'm going to go ahead and quick, you're not supposed to calculate, but I'm going to go ahead and calculate to just show you what I mean by this. So in our first problem, 8 plus 9 divided by 3 times 5 minus 2. There are no parentheses, so I don't have to worry about that. There are no exponents, I don't have to worry about that. I need to multiply or divide left to right. So because I have to go left to right, I have to do this division first. So that would be 8 plus 9 divided by 3 is 3, then still times 5 minus 2. Order of operations. I'm still working on multiplication and division left to right. So I have to multiply before I can add or subtract. So this becomes 8 plus 15 minus 2. Now I'm going to add or subtract left to right. 8 and 15 is 23, I think. Minus 2 would be 21. So that would be problem 1. But for problem 2, you follow a very different order because of these grouping symbols right here, because of those parentheses. So let's take a look. 8 plus 9 divided by 3 times, in parentheses, 5 minus 2. So because of the parentheses, I have to work within parentheses first. 5 minus 2 is 3. Everything else stays the same. So I have my times, I have my 3, I have my divided by, I have my 9, I have my plus, I have my 8. So I took care of my parentheses, I'm all set. There are no exponents. Next step, multiply or divide left to right. So as I look left to right, I have to divide before I multiply. So that's 8 plus 9 divided by 3 is 3 times 3. Again, I'm still at this step. I need to multiply before I add. So that becomes 8 plus 3 times 3 is 9, and 8 plus 9 is 17. So as you can see, no, these definitely don't come up with the same answers, but you don't even have to calculate them to prove that. What you have to do is realize, based on your order of operations, those grouping symbols make us subtract the 5 and the 2 first. If there was no grouping symbols, that would actually be the last step. I hope that helps. Yours is very similar to that.